Katharine Seaton. I'm sitting here at my workstation. Over there is my Foley cupboard. But I think who I am as a composer is probably strongly connected with who I am in my life. Living with neurodiversity and observing it daily and learning to understand has really changed the way I think about everything. I was noticing me, and I was gathered up in a breath. And I think this has led me to be really, really interested in other people's experience of the world and in subjectivity. All the projects I take on and the way I take them on, I think in some way are always looking at it from the angle of how is it different to be this person? How does this person experience things? How can I say in music and sound how this person might experience things? I do like to use raw sound integrated into music as part of that process, I guess, of conveying subjective experience. Sometimes it's not always a sympathetic character. The long-term audio drama that I have a lot of fun working on, called The Hidden People, recently introduced a character, a witchy character called Black Anis, and she's horrible. But I started off when I had to sort of develop a soundscape for her, rather than just writing some creepy sounding music. I started off actually going into my Foley cupboard and playing with rather more bodily, visceral sounds. I made my first ever contact mic, put it up against my throat and do some swallows. She lives in a dark bower which kind of feels like it swallows you up. I'm in my early 40s now. I've been sort of doing creative music for 5 or 6 years, having abandoned it really in my early 20s, and I didn't consciously choose to abandon it. But I guess I just wasn't ready to sort of have that contract with the world where I was offering my voice and allowing them to accept or reject it. I think women have maybe a script presented to them about being useful and being sensible and being self-effacing and pushing away the urge to say, this is me, this is who I am, listen to me. We're more socially minded perhaps, or expected to be more socially minded. Whether it's actually the case that we are, I don't know. Our bodies remind us of time, of mortality, constantly. We had the changing seasons inside our body from day to day as our hormone cycle shifts and we feel different. And I do think that what I've understood of being a man from my husband is it's a more linear process. I always feel like I have to be quickly moving on to the next thing I have to say, the next piece I have to write. I'm restless. The thing that disturbs me most about my own music is that I feel like I can't help but over-control what comes out. You can't be that unabashed. You can't be that raw. You can't be that ugly. And I also feel that sometimes it comes out softer than I want it to, and vaguer than I want it to, and less confident than I want it to be. My personality is actually getting in the way of what the music wants to be. If I somehow manage to let rip as a composer completely, I don't know if I'd like what I saw there anyway. So that might be even more disturbing, who knows? So recently I wrote a series of choral pieces for a local choir, and these pieces were right on brand. It was all about sort of misrepresented or unheard voices or different experiences of life. There was one about autism actually, and also I wrote one about dispossessed, exiled people who've lost their roots, and there was one about women too, in fact. And somebody said to me, ooh, it reminds me a little bit of Eric Whittaker's music. And it does feel like an inadvertent put down to say, oh, it sounds like this or it sounds like that. Unless I'm being compared to someone really awesome, of course. Well, I do really want to carry on with working in media, and I'm really excited by the move towards more immersive and interactive media. I'm not a games person particularly. I have studied composing for games, and I found the tech really interesting, and it taught me an awful lot about first-person perspectives, which I bring into my work all the time, as anyone I've worked with will tell you. But I am interested in sort of immersive audio drama. I'm interested in the movie in the mind, and the capacity to provoke the imagination in that particular medium.